Attention gamers. I go into every new league season hoping the game devs at this indie company will have finally taken their brains out of the Mountain Dew infused gamer girl bath water they've been marinating in for the last few years for long enough to fix the issues that are killing the casual player's enjoyment of this piss pit of a game. The community has grown more toxic than Chernobyl's radioactive anus to the point FF15 has become a culture where people are downvoting my videos every time I vote no in a surrender vote during a game. People give up way too early, but it's because Riot has been cosplaying Buddy the f***ing Elf when it comes to how strong they have made the snowball mechanic. And while bounties and catch-up mechanics were implemented as well as the LA Fire Department's emergency response strategy,
He got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
they were on the right track. But then I see the newest features this year, Feats of Strength. AKA the first team to get 2 of the following early game achievements basically gets a rich bitch trust fund baby amount of free shit in their life, and because Riot's ability to balance is on par with a drunk vertigo patient on a tightrope, it has meant that over 70% of the time, the team that gets these feat win the game. AKA games are literally determined in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game now, and FF15 will turn into FF5 where teams will be giving up almost immediately. Great going Uncle Rito, but before I show this in action I wanted to talk about an actually satisfying way to get fed. Factor is the sugar daddy of my Rift rent today, as they have been sending me meals for months now and I honestly couldn't see myself going back to actually cooking. Factor is an affordable meal plan featuring tons of changing variety in their meals that get delivered directly to your door that can be heated up and consumed by gamers like you and me with no cooking or cleanup needed. It's super easy to use, you just go to their website, select which type of meals you want. As you can see, I'm all about getting lean and jacked, and then you enter my code in this thingy to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping, and bam, you just improved your health while saving time. So thank Factor for sponsoring my content by using my link below to get consistent with your diet, and let's get into the games. Alright, so game 1 of Race to 2 Feats of Strength, formerly known as Summoner's Rift, and you can see I'm not shy about busting a few 8-bit arcade cannonballs into that honeybee's bitch ass little mouth, but guess who just finished his clear and was now looking to get to second base with me? He comes in and shoots a field goal with his Earl Grey tongue, and then I try to send a message that trespassers onto my property will be shot, which due to my positioning being worse than a cheese platter at an IBS Anonymous meeting ends with me cracking a condom to avoid popping my death cherry. That said, this dipshit of a tea kettle is more predictable than the ending of a shitty Hallmark movie, so I know he will be trying to lick the nips of a king crab in the river, so I grab my weaponized sushi roll and we collapse. At the time I thought this earned us first blood and halfway towards the feat of strength, otherwise known as a 75% chance of winning this game, but let me direct you to what was going on with my mid laner Syndra. So for the grass touchers in chat, this now means that not only will Silas be more snowballed than a new W, but because of a mid-diff the rest of their team is likely going to get boosted boots and the option to upgrade to the 75% win rate Nikes themselves as well. Oh gee, I wonder if this will cause more toxicity towards feeding teammates while also encouraging griefers, who could possibly know. Anyways, I'm continuing to bully this little bumble bitch every time I see him, and nothing is going to stop me, even cancelled autos, because it will just give me the opportunity to do something flashy to make up for it. That said, we lost the first turret, which means the 2 out of 3 feet fucks have been achieved, and now my chances of winning the game are statistically less than 30%. I remain consistent in having the positional awareness of a toaster strudel, and for the sake of the clip we're gonna say I survived there, but the reality is 2 Chains on their team is abusing the handicapped person on our team, and now while they have been given a giga broken boot upgrade as a result, so has the rest of their team as well, because of the Genius Factory sitting in a Lux Skin sales funded conference room at Riot. It's also worth noting that their mid laner is quite literally 7 levels ahead of our support, which really tickles my pickle in an unpleasant way, which means I should stay far away from that chain banging psychopath, but where's the fun in that? Anyways, it gets to the point where he can just bathe in the middle of our whole team alone, and there's not much we can do other than contribute to the statistic that the team who loses the early game feat of strength, loses the game. So then I figure I will play Ziggs Tristana and just jam our dicks into their tower until it drops faster than my desire to touch this game, and fortunately an early invade means we get first blood, which with feats of strength is enough to the enemy team to visibly give up, as you can see here. Now laning phase consists of people just running at me because they couldn't be bothered to even try in this one, since an unfortunate invade means we have a way higher chance of just rubbing our sweaty gooch all over their tier 3 less slow ass characters all game, and so it's not surprising that 5 minutes into the game someone leaves and they just flat out quit. I immediately think that organizing invades as 5 is now OP meta, but I gotta give it to Riot, they have their priorities straight with this chat moderation stuff.
We are invading as 5. What? I said as 5. As 5. What? Is that getting blurred out for you? We are invading. Type as and 5. It gets blurred. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? What the F? We are all invading as a team to get feat of strength.
Needless to say, our invade isn't coordinated since my attempt to organize it got censored, but we managed to steal their red buff, and then I guess kids who grow up with the internet these days have never learned how to read a map, which means we get a first blood then is more free than a hug from a hooker, and my team is already halfway to an easy win. Before, when you all gathered around a dragon for a free circle jerk only for it to get stolen, it was slightly tilting, but now it's going to result in quite an increased rate of death threats against your jungler, as it means so much more now. That said, I didn't see any lost dog posters, but I know someone was out there looking, and I was gonna have to be the bearer of bad news to tell them that their dog is dead. This gave us a bit of time alone to do work against their rebranded Noxus tower, and of course we are incentivized to just gangbang it into oblivion, because the game's not about killing the Nexus anymore, it's about killing this first tower, and no wall hacking ram is gonna stop us, so we kite back and then regroup so that we can get the game winning boot buffs. This basically gives me an Ornn on my team, upgrading my boots for free, and I'm using it to be more aggressive than an alcoholic stepfather, and while the free buffs may seem small, it's noticeable when you consider how much easier it is from us to just run away from being overextended, but when they get caught with their flaccid dick in hand, it's easy for us to capitalize on it. It's now at the point where they can't contest a single objective on the map, which means we get full custody over the enraged bloody sperm cell that was added this season, which is almost as brilliant of an idea as the boot bullshit, because as you can see with this buff I can just completely turn my brain off and go frontline ADCing, because there's absolutely zero risk to my life with this fantastic game design. My absolutely abysmal accuracy is now more than made up for in the fact that my sneakers are greater than sign this poor shitter sneakers, as he's rocking tier 1s and his latest donation just funded my tier 3s. I use my new Keemstar speed to rotate to fights, distributing large spectral bananas and chasing down cosmic bowling alley Kanyes who have no chance of escaping anymore. At one point the kill count was even, but you can see just how quickly things get out of hand with just this one early game change, as the whole match is now more one-sided than a Mobius strip, as we add a free uncontested Baron into the pot of bullshit soup and then we storm the base like it's a beach in Normandy. So in 3 games the team that has gotten the feat of strengths won each time, and the gold graph in post-game paints a really scary picture that Riot's game design decision-making skills are starting to hit rock bottom. And I'll be exploiting this in my next video. Rav out.